Hey, this is Darius Fogey.
Hey, I'm Zila, and this is the Calf Kids podcast.
So, Zila, what are we talking about today?
So today we are talking about something that you and I can both relate to, which
Mm-hmm.
is being, I'm saying, a little bit heavier. You know what I mean?
Just a tad.
Just a little overweight, just a little thicky yachty, just a little thickums,
Mm-hmm. Just
big
little
body
thickums.
bends. Okay?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's something that you and I can both relate to. We are a little on the heavier side,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess we have been for some time now. And so obviously
Yeah.
that kind of shapes who you are as a person, kind of shapes your experiences. And I want to get into that because I know that there's a lot of people out there that can relate to what we're talking about. And even if you can't relate to what we're talking about, I want you to be aware because this really does shape how you live your life. So let's get into it, Darius. Tell me about your experience of being a little bit bigger.
I would say, from my experience, I feel like growing up, I've always been like a little chubby. Not like I'm not a big guy, but I do got a little bit of chub on me. You know what I mean? A little bit of love handle. You know, a little bit of
Nothing
Alvin
wrong
and the
with it.
Chipmunk. I was say I look like Theodore from Alvin and the Chipmunks. You feel what I'm
I'm
saying?
so fucking dead with
Like
a beard.
he ain't big, but yeah, he's definitely given, right? So I feel like really like growing up, I feel like it really didn't really affect me until middle school. You feel what I'm saying? I feel like that's when you're trying to talk to girls, meet friend groups. I think that's when it became a topic of discussion because everybody, because middle school, everybody just wants to be grown. You
Right.
remember that when you was in middle school, everybody just wants to be grown.
Everybody just wants to be cool, basically. I mean, were
Yeah,
you?
but
Did you get big in middle school, or like were?
I was never really like big, but I say yeah. But like I think like even specifically when I hop around that, like where I was in New Jersey, it was being grown. It wasn't about being cool. It was about you want to you want to do grown people's things, right? People being fast, as they say in the black community.
Oh,
And
okay.
I feel like, and I feel like when you want to be fast and this person's looking like a little boy, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't, I'm acting like part of the cool kids.
Yeah.
I'll say I was a little slower than everybody, just a little more huff in my puff.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not, you
Huff
know
in
what
the
I'm saying?
puff.
Because I hate with a passion. Like when we had to take like the mile run for the pacer test, like
Yo.
it absolutely. I'll tell you my experience about the pacer test, right? So what we would do is that you would have your name on the sheet every day, and they'll call your name up, and then everybody will like go to their sections by your last name, and then you'll rotate around, right?
Right.
So if it came to doing like the pull-ups and stuff, ain't no
Yeah.
problem, right? I do that. I get like 9 of them things I ain't out, right?
Right. Sitting and
You know what I
reaching
mean?
for your
Even-
toes.
to see the reach for the toes ain't no problem. You feel what I'm saying? But it was that mile. That mile ate up your boy every 10 seconds, right? I feel like for that we had to run 2 laps around the
Right.
field. I was so bad. I look up, there's people lapping me.
Hate it.
You know, it was always
it's so
that-
embarrassing.
what was
It's
that-
like
what's
okay,
that?
because you know what I'm saying. Little kids, they love to show off. They love to showboat. So when they pass you, it's
listen.
like, oh, I'm chilling. This is
If
easy.
if there was a time if you ran the fastest, you was getting all the girls. Remember
Or
that?
so
You was
they
the most
thought. Or so
popular.
they thought.
If you could move, boy. I was never really given. Like I was saying, how are you on the presidential fitness test?
Look, I hated it with a passion. And I feel like what's worse is when you're bracing for it to happen. Like you'll be in gym class and they'll be like, okay, class, next week we're going to be doing the presidential fitness test. And now you're going home with dread in your heart. You're coming back to school every day. You wish you could slow down time, but you got to go back to gym class. You know what I'm saying? So when the day comes, you're really in there and you become aware. Like I feel like you really become aware of how out of shape you are or how fucking fast little kids can be. Like it's crazy. For me, I hated all of it. The pacer test, I think in specific, the one where you run back and forth across the gym.
Oh, I
and
forgot
shit
about that.
That
I forgot
shit
about that.
specifically
Ooh.
triggers me. I hate it. And running the mile, that too. We had to run 4 laps around the track for a mile. And I feel like for me, it was like, but before the end of lap 1, I was already feeling like winded. I was already feeling tired. And it's like, God damn, I got 3 more to go. It was like, when people start lapping you, it's really like, it's the worst because, they'll be like, go. And everybody starts running. Like the kids that want to run really fast, they take the fuck off. And I'm like, okay, let me try to pace myself. But at the same time, like everybody else's pace is faster than my pace. So I would try to like keep up, but I very quickly could not. And that shit was embarrassing. Anyway, but for me in middle school, I went to a white ass middle school. I went to a
Same.
white ass middle
Same.
school.
Do you remember All Time Low?
Yes. Dear Maria, count me in.
I check your gangster.
Okay.
If you was listening to Green Day,
Bro,
if you know about the
American
Warped
Idiot.
Tour,
Oh, Warped Tour.
Don't talk to me night.
Bro, I'm just gonna lay it out there. I went to Warped Tour.
We're never gonna talk about the worst experience, but middle school specifically. I remember when Lady Gaga just got started.
Yo, Bad Romance, my shit to this day. Poker face, poker face.
Listen, Drake
Alejandro
was on Young Money. Like Nicki was out here. Like it was like I was there when like it mattered. We was there, bro. I was outside. We was outside in 07. We was outside.
You know what I mean?
But tell me about your Warped Tour story. I gotta hear this.
Okay, so this Warped Tour experience is actually in high school, not middle school. So at this point, I was really dedicated to the emo lifestyle. I went with my bestie. The really cool backstory about this is that she and I worked on the high school newspaper, and they would send us promotional stuff all the time. So I actually got to see Panic at the Disco, Fall Out Boy, and Paramore, and Warped Tour all for free because they gave us tickets in exchange for us writing an article about it. So I went to Warped Tour. We drank probably between us like 15 water bottles that day. Didn't really eat anything. Was sweating it all out. I didn't even use the bathroom at all. Not once that day, even though I drank all of that water. And it's because I was sweating it all out. My friend almost passed out. I don't know if you know the concept of Warped Tour, but basically like there's a bunch of stages all throughout like an arena. Not arena. For us, it was like a big amphitheater type place. And so all over the parking lot, and then also all over like the entire premise. Basically there's a bunch of stages, and there's all kinds of artists going on, mostly, you know what I'm saying, rock, metal type, emo type bands, but also some DJs. And we went to go see a DJ, and he had this really, really hype house music, and it's just very hype set, and we were like head banging, jumping back and forth, waiting for the bass drop. And my friend almost passed out because she has asthma, and we were in a very crowded environment. Yeah, she almost passed out, so we had to step out, and I was like, damn, girl, couldn't have passed out, you know what I'm saying, after the set, but it's all right. We'll walk to the side, cool you down. Let's ask for some water. But it was cool though. Back to the presidential fitness thing. So side story over.
Yeah, but for the pacer test, listen, that's when, you know, it separated the boys from the men, the pacer test. Because I remember, I forgot like the shuttle run. It was called the shuttle run. It was get on the line and whistle and go back and forth.
Oh, Lord.
But it was like the NFL combine out there. Like, you know, you had a bad time, they was roasting you.
Oh,
you feel what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And being chubbier, I remember one time I was sweating because it was in the sun. And you ever get that like under boob sweat?
Oh, Lord.
Girl,
I remember.
Listen,
I think I got a little bit of protection because I would wear a bra. But, you know, I can imagine as a man that would be.
And when I got to locker room, Fogey, you got the. Listen, I was going through it. Have you ever been bullied because of your size, your weight growing up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Because I feel like for me, my experience was I have been big pretty much my entire life. I want to say I started becoming somewhat aware of like my size in relation to other people around the first grade. But even then, I don't think it was like astronomical. But I would say by the third grade, I was like, okay, girl, you are a big girl. And you know, kids are just so little and skinny all the time that when you are like a different size, like it makes you an easy target. So absolutely, I was bullied. I think back on this, I really was feeling hurt because somebody said I was fat. Like, duh, I'm fat. Like, you have eyes. Thank you for noticing. Like, thank you for telling me something that I already knew. Why was I so offended? Like, they were telling me something that was made up. Like, no, like you were fat, girl. But that's all right. But nowadays, like if somebody says I'm fat, like I'm gonna be like, yeah, you didn't tell me anything that I didn't already know. But
like,
back in the day, it's just like, yeah, like your mom's fat too, so why don't you tell her that? Me and your mom got the same body, so what the fuck you talking about? No, I'm just
I say a good comeback. Oh, Fogey, that's why you're big, right? And I'd be like, I'm big enough to get on top of your mom, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, I punch fast. I think that too, when you are different than other people, you gotta learn how to like quip. I think I was always kind of quiet as a child, because, and even on top because I stuttered. So it wasn't
diversity.
Really good. It matters.
People that stutter matter, because I stutter all the damn time. I don't think I have a stutter, but I stutter more than the average person. I feel like,
you know, when people bring up stuttering, they always say like, oh, I used to stutter as a kid. You know what I mean? Or you know what I hate too? I used to be bullied because of my size. No, you wasn't. I was there.
People think light teasing is bullying. No, baby. I don't got this thick skin for no reason. A bitch was bullied, okay? A bitch was ridiculed.
Not ridiculed.
Things that trigger me to this day.
To this day! To this day!
Is me being kind of aware of how I eat or how much I eat in front of other people. Because, like I said, it makes you such an easy target that
like, damn, she fucking that shit up. Jesus.
Yeah. And even if I fucking wasn't, or even if I'm eating the same, that shit started at home.
No, listen, have you ever had your parents, like, you make yourself a plate, and they're like, oh, you got an extra rib? Like, oh, you got another piece of chicken?
It be your own, bro. It be your fucking own.
Yes, I did. Mind your business, Gladys.
Yo, my grandmother, let's out her right now. She's long gone.
Talk about the big girl trauma.
I had 2 younger girl cousins who were 4 years younger than me. And I remember one time the ice cream truck came by. At this point, I was already really aware of my size. And when the ice cream truck went by, I wanted ice cream, but I didn't say that in front of my grandma because then she'd be like, that's why you're that big. But then my 2 younger cousins, 2 girl cousins, they were like, we want ice cream. So then my grandma bought all 3 of us ice cream. They were eating theirs very slow. Like, so they had a little container to hold underneath there what they were eating because it was just dripping off the stick. I was trying to eat mine before it was melting. And I remember my grandma was like, why are you eating that so fast? Eat it like them. And I was just like, yo, because I don't want my fingers to be sticky. Like, what do you mean? I think it's that plus the fact that at school they would kind of do the same thing. It just has made me very aware of how I eat in front of other people. I'm very mindful of how much I have on my plate, like very mindful of like how loud I'm chewing.
See, I know for me, I'm going in. You know me. Like, you see me eating.
Yeah, you eat so fast, Darius. Like, I'll be 2 bites in. I'll be 2 bites in, and you'll be like, all right, I'm done.
I come from a long line of eaters, praise God. My grandmother, and then watching me at the school a lot. My grandma could cook, right? My favorite thing to eat is pork chops and rice and gravy. And so I feel like my grandma was feeding me because she loved me. And so I feel like that kind of got into it. As I got a little older, when I would just eat because I'm stressed, and when you stress eat, you tend to eat fast in general.
Yeah,
so you're just like
you're not really mindful of your food.
Yeah, you're just looking. You're just like bum, 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 bum. I don't know. I feel like for me, when it comes to like being bullied, it was mainly, I would say, it was like little like quips like that, like, oh, Fogie, you're eating again, or stuff like that. When I got like into high school, it kind of got more chilled. Because in high school, I was like, baby face pudgy through freshman year, but sophomore year I started. I wrestled for a little bit,
and
I started losing weight. So I was down to 135 pounds at one point. So I was skinny.
Sheesh.
You know what I mean? I was lean, mean, and so I feel like it kind of chilled out because I wasn't big anymore. I was just Darius.
Right.
So like I kind of just like
you're still just Darius.
Oh no, I'm very similar to Darius, but I'm definitely not. But if you see, I was saying, like, I want to show you, like, if you see me in high school and me now, I have 2 different bodies. Like, I definitely got like grown and sexy body. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm built like somebody daddy. I'm like, hey, listen, go up in there.
You do
away.
Give me uncle vibes. You do give me uncle vibes.
I'm definitely the fun Tio. You say, for me, stress eating and depression eating really got me to the buddy yaddy yaddy. I'm here now because fast forward to, from high school to college, I gained. I went from 135 to the highest. I was 200, so I gained 65 pounds.
How did you feel? Like, did you feel like you were gaining weight? Did you know? Were you aware? Was it just like you blinked and it's like, damn, I'm big?
I'm not gonna lie, I blinked. I remember, what it is? I wore a medium all my life. I was a medium, and then I wore a shirt. And it like I got Winnie the Pooh. I think like that's when I was like, yeah, I'm a large, and I was like, I'm getting big, and I feel like after sophomore year, that's when I started to gain weight, and because people started making comments like, oh, cause my grandma was like, oh, my grandma would be like, Piggy Wiggy, or like she like Piggy Wiggy, like you need to stop eating all of that, and I was like, whatever, grandma. That's the thing too. I do what I want. You know what I'm saying? Like. My favorite phrase is, listen, if the ship's sinking, you might as well go scuba diving. Like, we already here. I might as well have fun in it. And so I think, like, it definitely crept up on me. And then eventually I kind of just made peace with it. And I was just like, listen, this is what it's going to be. But I would love to, get right. But I said before, like, I'm built like somebody's uncle. I got that uncle belly. So, in back of my mind, I'm like, if I work out and get serious, I'm straight. Because I'm trying to work out now and eat healthier, and I already lost like 3 pounds last week, so it's getting
I feel like men really just have to like think about
men?
Losing weight, and then they're like, all right, I lost 5 pounds.
People always say that. Women, I would say, what's been your weight loss journey? Have you tried to lose weight? How's that went?
Yeah, I guess for me, like the timeline of my events is I was big, and then I lost a lot of weight the summer before senior year of high school. And by a lot of weight, I don't mean like tons. Like I didn't get skinny or anything like that. But it was the first time I think in my life that I had lost enough weight for people to notice.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't necessarily go about it the right way because how it happened was I became besties with this girl at school and I would go to her house like pretty much every other day that summer before senior year of high school. And I would walk to her house like because I didn't drive back then. She didn't drive.
Yeah.
We were just two teenagers living life. I would walk to her house and it was a pretty significant walk, but I would make it because I would want to go hang out with her. And the thing about her is that she was pretty much on the opposite end of the spectrum as me. She would get bullied for being so skinny, basically. Like, that was her experience. And so she was very insecure about it. And I was very insecure about being big. But the problem was that she was so insecure that she would take it out on other people to make herself feel better. Like, it made me very self-conscious of how I was eating in front of her. Because I feel like she just, like, triggered all of those kinds of emotions in me. And so I wouldn't eat whenever I was at her house. And I would start making it a mission to like not eat, go to her house, not eat there. And then it was always around dinner time because I have a Mexican mother that cooked every day, basically. And I never said no to a meal because I like my mom's cooking. I love Mexican food. You know what I mean? So for me to say no to dinner, like it was just like, oh, that's weird. That's suspicious. I would always like cave around dinner time. But there was a couple times where I didn't eat dinner and my mom caught on pretty fast, I would say, that something was up with me and that I wasn't, eating normally or that I was avoiding food or something like that. I feel like she caught on pretty early. And the worst part about all of it is I was trying so hard to be as dedicated and as strict on myself as possible. But I never really thought that I saw any difference. And my friend, whenever I went to her house, I would check my weight there because she had a scale. And I didn't have a scale at that point. I didn't have a scale in the house. That was not necessarily something that my mom was worried about. So, and that's a whole nother story because we also just didn't eat good growing up. But anyway, so weight was not really something that she was prioritizing or like healthiness was like, it just wasn't a priority for her. So we didn't have a scale at the house. So I would weigh myself in my friend's house. And the thing is, I thought her scale was broken because the numbers that I was seeing on the screen, they were a lot lower than I thought they would be. And I was like, obviously this is broken. Like, that's the craziest thing. Even to this day, sometimes, like when I lost a little bit of weight about a couple months ago, I thought my scale was just dying. I thought the battery was just dead and it wasn't actually telling me the right weight. So I got a second scale, and it wasn't until that second scale told me the same weight that I was like, oh, maybe I did lose weight. It's just it's weird for me. Like, I didn't believe it at the time. When I came back my first day of senior year, a lot of people came up to me and was like, Zila, did you lose weight? Did you lose weight? Like, what? You look different. You look good, girl. Things like that. And so, like, it was just a huge, like, confidence boost. But at the same time, I was like, dang, so I guess I did lose a lot of weight. And the worst part is that, like, made me want to keep going. Like, my unhealthy behaviors where I wasn't eating or I was, like, exercising a little bit too much. Like, I tried to do the water fast in high school where I would basically only drink water. And I never really was successful because, like I said, around dinner time, I would always cave. And it wasn't until college that I actually was able to like really fast. It's weird that felt like an accomplishment to me at the time, when really like that's really messed up because you just can't sustain that kind of mentality. Overeating is obviously not good for you, but not eating at all, like that's not good for you either. Like, but tell me about you. Like, have you ever done anything crazy to like try to lose weight?
Sophomore year, when I started getting chubby again, I'm like, yo, listen.
Sophomore year of college?
Sophomore year of college, I was like, I need to get back to body yaddy, right?
Right.
And I was working at Sodexo for catering, and so I was like, I'm going to water diet. I saw it on TV, so I was like, you know what, I'm just drink water every day and see how long I last. So I did about like it was like 10 days.
Damn, 10 days.
And I lost 16 pounds in 10 days.
That's right? More than a pound a day, Darius. That is not good for you.
Extremely unhealthy. And, bro, I was, like, sitting in class hallucinating. I'll close my eyes, be seeing elephants and crap. I was going through it. I was like, listen, you got to pay the cost to be the boss. You feel what I'm saying? And only reason why I stopped, because keeping it real, is Fried Chicken Friday. Fried Chicken Friday. So at historical black colleges, there's a day dedicated to fried chicken, and ethnic food. Now, some people are Fried Chicken Wednesday. We are Fried Chicken Fridays. So every
Fried
Friday,
Chicken Fridays just sounds better. I know that a lot of schools were Fried Chicken
Fried
Wednesdays,
Chicken
but
Wednesday,
that
but
Fried Chicken Friday just sounds better.
and everybody be at the calf chilling. So
Hell
you
yeah.
get chicken, collard greens, cornbread, Fried Chicken Friday. My friends are like, Darius, let's go to Fried Chicken Friday. I'm like, all right, whatever. So we in line. I'm in line with them. That's when just kick it. We vibing. You know how it go.
Yeah.
And then I smell. I was like, is that a thigh? And I was like, I do like hot sauce. I was like, maybe it's a little nibble, right? 3 thighs in later. So I've definitely tried. I tried being vegan. I tried being vegetarian. I just try and try and try, and never really ever stick. And I feel like the biggest thing is consistency. I feel like you can do things once in a while, but can't do this every single day. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Right.
Recently, I went to Wegmans. I got these like little samosas. They're banging.
Shout out to Wegmans.
I've been eating those. I've been trying to intake my calories. So far, I lost 3 pounds last week, so that was good.
That's good. 3 pounds.
It's coming together. It's coming together.
Guys really just lose weight so fast. It's crazy.
So that's what I'm saying. So I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get the body yaddy.
Right, because the thing about weight loss is that, and this is why I personally don't support diets, is that diets most of the time aren't sustainable. Like, even the keto diets, like, people can maintain a keto lifestyle just because there's a lot of keto products out there. But at the end of the day, like, those kind of diets, they deprive you of, like, the nutrients that you need from other sources of food that are besides, like, the keto rules. And really, when it comes to losing weight, it really is about a lifestyle. You really have to make things a habit. And you can still enjoy your food. You can still have your comfort food. You can still enjoy your snacks and your treats and your brownies, but everything in moderation, right? Like, you can do that once a week for one meal. You can have a cheat meal. I feel like people do cheat days. That kind of, I feel like, defeats the purpose. But you can do a cheat meal and then keep it in moderation. Or, yeah, I'm saying just treat yourself every once in a while. Just a small little nibble of something.
No.
You know what I mean? So it really is just about swapping out the foods that you already eat with better sources. Like, instead of eating white bread, do whole grain bread. It's just the little things to lose weight.
Well, a lot of people too. I think it's the pressure to be skinny too. I feel like it's okay to be average built. You know what I mean? You don't always gotta have muscles and look like an Instagram model, especially for women. I've seen when it comes to weight loss and stuff. You know what I mean? Not even like the BBL women, but just like women in general. You know what I'm saying? Like the beauty standards. Thankfully beauty standards have been kind of a little more eased in the. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants a thick bit. Speaking of beauty standards, have you ever like in terms of dating, has that your weight ever affected that?
When I was younger and I was inexperienced with men, I thought it was like the defining factor about who I was and who would want me. And I thought that my weight absolutely had to do with my dating life. I let myself believe that lie for too long, to be honest with you, because the truth of the matter is that I have so much more to offer, and anybody in the world has more to offer than just their weight, right? Like, I kind of forget that I'm fat sometimes. Like, I go about living my life, and then it's like,
I'm
it's
chubby.
like, yeah, it's like all of a sudden I'll be like reminded that I'm big, or somebody will remind me that I'm big. It's like I'll be in a circumstance where I'll remember that I'm big, and I'm like, oh shit. But these days, like, I don't really feel that bad about it because people got big after high school, to be honest with you. Like, people got big. Y'all are just catching up. It's just getting good, okay? And I really have been able to get attention from all kinds of men. I have been with very conventionally attractive men. I have been with very muscular men, like, or not been with, but you know what I'm saying? Like, interacted with and received attention from those kinds of men. And it's because I have so much more to offer than just my weight. Like, I'm funny as hell. I'm also beautiful. Like, I'm giving face. I face card every day. And I feel like I have a lot of good qualities about myself. So for me, these days, look, this weight ain't stopping nobody from getting who they want. So that's all I got to say about that. And for my younger girls, like, it's really all about confidence. Like, you just have to believe in yourself. And I promise you, somebody else will believe in you too. Like, just live your life, girl. Because at the end of the day, it's going to be somebody out there that doesn't want you. And that's just the case for anybody. The dating pool does not have to be any harder for you just because you're big. Don't make it harder for yourself. But as a man, do you feel me, or do you think that you've had a different experience?
Well, first I want to say, she ain't a lady if she ain't 180. All right, off real. And if she ain't too something, she can't do something.
All right.
Okay. I feel that chubby boys are winning. That one that will say girls don't care how big dudes
Look,
are. They
I
don't
feel
talk
like
about that. They really don't.
dad bod has really come into popularity. And I'm
I get
kind of
that.
here for it, to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie to you, though, Darius. I'm not going to lie to you.
Talk to me.
I don't think I necessarily go for big dudes. And I mean, like, big dudes. I feel like dad bod is like, you're so cute. Like, teddy bear. But big boys, I'm like, okay, look, logistically, this is not going to work out. Like,
Look
can't
like
both
two,
of us be tired during, you know what I'm saying? Like, we
listen,
can't
you
both
can't
be tired.
looking like two baby seals mating. You know what I'm saying? Like slap, slap, slap. You know what I'm saying?
But shout out to all the big couples out there because y'all are winning. I'm not even in a relationship, so obviously y'all are beating me already.
Looking like
winning.
two mittens.
Well,
You know what I mean?
But tell me about dating as a big guy. Tell me about dating as a big guy.
What's this thing? I'm
or
not
not
a big
even. You're
guy,
not even
chubby,
big guy. You're chubby.
I can't even claim, sadly. But I feel like being like a little pudgier. I feel like most women want a guy a certain way. If you ask a woman, what do you want, right? She wants a guy that's tall. She wants a guy that what I mean, like has like a nice body, right? So those things are opposite of me because I'm short and I'm a little plubby and I like anime, right? So obviously
the full
dating
package,
pool.
period.
So the dating pool, I'm not going to be a little smaller conventionally, right? Especially for a young African American man in the black community, you have to be. There's a certain way you have to look. You look like Pooh Shiesty and be a hood dude, or look like Lance Gross and give body, right? Like, it's something that somebody said. 90% of women only want 10% of men. You feel what I'm saying? There's only like 10% of men in the world that are very attracted that women actually want. Then there's the rest of us. So I feel like I've always kind of been just like, okay, he's funny, he's chill, I'm gonna rock with him. But you know what I mean? If you really had to get an option of a person, I'm not somebody's first pick. So I do feel it has affected. I feel like if I even I've seen people who are the same height as me or had the same features as me, but they had the muscles, had their abs working. Of course, they have a little more female attention. So even that too, I kind of feel like I would have a little more female attention if my body looked a certain way. But also too, I'm not at a point in my life I just don't care. You feel what I'm saying? I make too much money. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Over a little bit of listen. If you can't love the belly, you know what I mean? What is you? So I feel like as I was younger, like in high school and stuff, I was definitely subconscious first, like going into high school and stuff, and how my body was, and even in college. But at that, like if you got a little belly on you, you could work it out if you got personality. That too, you gotta have some game to you. If you don't got game, it's a wrap. Yeah, you
I feel like
game.
for all the young men out there, let's look into the female perspective. The way that you look is only a certain part of what makes somebody attractive, right? Like it's not gonna obviously like there's conventionally attractive and that's gonna get people's attention right away before anything else. But something else to consider is like your personality, right? Like because I feel like the men that I have been attracted to the most haven't necessarily been conventionally attractive, but that was because I admired so much about them outside of what was the norm for, or what people like, what men strive to be, like what men think that will make women want them. Like there's more to that because I really do appreciate a funny guy, or a guy who's confident, or a guy who's goofy, or a guy who's not afraid to be vulnerable or show expression or show a different side to him that's different than the manly male macho kind of mentality that a lot of guys think that makes them a man, So
listen, I'm built like somebody's husband. You know what I mean? I'm built like I'm built like your daddy. And I'm fine being built like your daddy. I'm built like it. Listen, and we don't talk about Bruno. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like it's just, it is a little hard, of course, because everybody wants to look a certain way, right?
Right.
In conventional media, and you see certain people, but you just gotta be you. I think it's the biggest thing, even with having a body yaddy, is that you can have body yaddy, but it's the confidence, it's being you. Because there's definitely women who listen. There's some women who are bigger women for sure, and they are definitely giving what's supposed to give. You know what I'm saying? They are throwing the wop. They are having fun. And I think that's the biggest thing.
It's because you got to know who you are. You have to know who you are and lean all the way into that. Because if you're afraid to be yourself, then nobody's actually going to ever really know you. And why would you want that? Why wouldn't you try to strive for somebody who would really want to be with you for who you are outside of what you think you should be? Like,
so I say if that person can appreciate a good 2-piece and a biscuit from Popeyes, I don't need them. You feel what I'm saying? Like if we can't eat sushi, we can eat bone spare ribs together, I don't want you in the first place. You feel what I'm saying?
And that's how you work that one out.
You feel what I'm saying? So I feel like, of course, you want to eat healthy and all that good stuff and but have fun, people. I feel like that too. Bigger people have more fun if you really get into the root.
Because once you stop giving a fuck, like, really, you start living the life.
Mm-hmm. Listen, life's too short. Get you a large fry. Have fun. That's how I think about it. This is love on my body. I love myself enough to buy the spicy nugget.
I mean, we're all going to die, really. At the end of the day, we're all going to die. I do want to live a long, healthy life, though.
Oh, of course.
So I'm like, I'm stuck between not caring and wanting to care. But I'm going to do what I think is right for me. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not going to deprive myself of anything because it just makes you more miserable. It doesn't solve your problems. It just makes you more fixated on the things that you wish that you could have. Like, fuck that. I'm going to live my life, but I'm going to be mindful about my life at the same time. So yeah, Darius.
So one thing I want to say and kind of end this out. If there was some advice you'll give to your younger Zila, right? You're in front of 12-year-old Zila. What would you tell her?
You are enough, and you don't have to make up for anything, because people love you for who you are, and you should love yourself for who you are as well. And this is to everybody too, like little me, everybody, little you, everybody listening. It's really beautiful when somebody can really be themselves around you. And people don't care about your weight if they really fuck with you. Like, nobody gives a fuck about that except for you. So get out of your own head about it.
I would tell 12-year-old Darius to run as much as possible so I could look good in the future.
I'm fucking dead.
I would tell Darius to, when I remember in gym class we had fitness, so you go to the gym every day. I would definitely use that. But also I would say, bro, listen, eat what you want because it tastes good, not because you're trying to hide from something. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times we eat to get our mind off everything. We is that those small pleasures in life, and we use it as a coping mechanism. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with doing what you want to do, but don't do it because you're trying to chase something down or you're trying to forget something, or I had a rough day at school today. So that's what I gotta say. Is there anything else before we end this podcast?
I feel like we do live in a fat phobic society, and people's number one fear is really getting fat, because they would hate themselves if they were fat. But guess what? I don't hate myself because I'm fat. I don't.
See, I would say that, in the words of Kung Fu Panda, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. You feel what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta do you, baby. I say do you. Do you and have fun. This has been the Calf Kids Podcast. I'm Darius Fogarty.
I'm Zila Sanchez, and
thanks
we
so much
the
for
big
listening.
body Benz, big body Benz.